Indira Gandhi National Open University presents a program by School of Performing and Visual Arts titled Sollu and Tala Part-1. The expert for the program is Dr. P. Radhika, faculty from School of Performing and Visual Arts, IGNOU. Let us listen to the program.
Namaskar, welcome to this session in which I will be talking about a particular course called ODNL 13, that is something that deals with Tala, the Tala system which is used for Bharatanatyam dancers. This is to give a brief about the program in which this course is present. It is a 6-month CPABN, which is Certificate in Performing Arts Bharatanatyam, which is a 6 months program of 16 credits, wherein we have 10 credits of practical and the remaining 6 credits of theory. So we have, out of this 10 credits of practical, we have a distribution of 4, 4 and 2. So the 4 is ODNL 11, which will deal with Bharatanatyam level 1, ODNL 12, that is Bharatanatyam 2, and then coming on to music and talas, where there is a lot of emphasis on Tala, which is ODNL 13. So this has 2 credit weightage. Even then, very important aspect for any learner of Bharatanatyam. Normally, a dancer, a child who learns dance is taught the adavus, the tattadavu, the natadavu, and then they go on to master the items of the repertoire, starting with Alaripu and then Jatiswaram, Shabdam, Varnam, and so on. So what we see here is that the performance emphasis is much more in the art form, which is more performance oriented. But when we start learning the dance form, it is not only the performance aspect but also the composing aspect that a student has to understand, so that there are certain nitty-gritties where everyone has to get involved. For example, maybe in composing or in much more analytical and critical approach to understanding what they dance. So this is where Tala comes in. And even when you conduct a class, the understanding of Tala forms a very important part. So let us go on to what this whole thing about this program is all about. 6 months program, it is of 16 credits. It can be completed in a minimum duration of 6 months, but then a maximum duration of 2 years. So then if a student gets enrolled in January 2023, he or she can take the exam, the first theory exam and the practical exam at the end of, that means from January session, by the end of June, they can give their final exam. So we prepare them accordingly within the span of time. But then, that being the minimum duration of the course, we can extend it, we are flexible enough to extend it for 2 years. So that means if in January 2023, if the student gets enrolled, so at the end of 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 5, by the end of June 2025, they should be able to complete. So that maximum duration flexibility is offered from IGNOU, it being the open and distance learning mode. So this is one major aspect that a student can take advantage of. And one more thing is the flexibility in terms of not only time but also place, wherever they are in and around India. Even students, we have quite a number of students from outside India who come in to give exams. So it being counsel from the headquarters, you can avail this facility of getting this 6 months program, minimum which can be completed in 6 months and maximum of 2 years from within India and outside India. So that is a larger flexibility that IGNOU as an open university offers the students of whatever age group, but minimum would be 10th pass. So we have 10th pass students. We also have 50-year-old or 60-year-old who come to learn dance. So this also is mostly upon the basic nature of the course, it being a fresher oriented course. Even the performing artists also taken this course for a certification. So freshers means those who have no idea of dance, who are just interested and who want to start learning dance, even though at the age of 25 or 30 they come in to learn dance. So age doesn't matter, place doesn't matter, time doesn't matter. So it's an open university, it's much more flexible, and you have a larger option of starting on to learn a very important classical dance form of India, that is Bharatanatyam. So we are here to teach you on online mode. That means all the counseling sessions. Counseling means tutoring and teaching and mentoring and all involved. So that would be given from the headquarters at IGNOU, and it is on online mode. You can avail the class face-to-face online synchronous classes through Zoom and Google Meet. That would be taken up by the faculty members of a School of Performing and Visual Arts, and they would be guiding you. And apart from that, you would also get postal material for the theory part. So we have 3 theory courses. So 2 credits each, totaling of 6 credits. So we have book material, we have audio video material that is also given to you on the online mode through a Google Classroom. So once you enroll for this program, you will be invited for joining a classroom, and you would be given all this material. Even the theory material is given in a soft copy mode. So all the audio video material. Apart from that, we have electronic media processing center, which has quite a few number of recorded videos also, that would be given as supplementary viewing material. All that is available through Google Classroom platform, which you can avail and once you register for this course. So welcome to this program. Without any much delay, I would be going on directly to the subject now, which is Sollu and Tala. So this is, as I said, that something that deals with the main aspect of the third paper of the practical in CPABN, which is Tala, music in Talas. So Tala, you would have heard about this terminology, which is a very important, unique performative aspect of Indian classical dance, Indian classical music too. And no matter classical, it is also present in folk. It is a thread, that is a common thread which binds all the Indian music and dance forms. This is this concept called Tala. Tala is a very unique thing called, which we understand basically by the term rhythm. But then rhythm, just buying rhythm doesn't give an equivalence to Tala. Tala is a cyclical rhythm where the frequency and the speed, the tempo and everything matters. So here you have this concept of a cyclical rhythm which repeats. Periodicity is its underlying essential factor, which kind of repeats itself. So for any dancer or musician, this is a very important concept to know. And so I will be talking about mainly those aspects which are very important for a performing artist, mainly a Bharatanatyam dancer, when he or she starts learning the very basics. So we in this course teach the basic aspects of Tala, the basic ways in which a Tala is rendered, the parts of a Tala. We do not get more deeper into the different dasha pranas of Tala, but then the performative aspect of Tala. How do you render the Tala for the adavus that you perform, the natadavus, the tattadavus, the advanced adavus, and the one important, the first item of the repertoire, the beginning item of the repertoire, which is the alaripu. So till that level we make the student aware and then in a position to perform the Tala and also do it. So that enables them to look at the performance aspect, the dance that they are performing in a much more closer manner. So that is the main aim of teaching them the Tala. What you do, you also well are aware of what you're doing and what aspects what you're doing, be it abhinaya, be it nritta, be it the Tala. So you're completely enabled, completely aware of, you completely understand and can also analyze what you're doing. So we prepare the student, a basic learner, towards understanding and performing and also in a position to analyze what they are doing, be it dance, be it the music, be it the Tala. So let us start about these terms called Sollu. Sollu is the Chol. In Malayalam it's called the Chol. In Tamil it's called Sollu. So it's just the term. In English it is called mnemonics. So mnemonics is the Sollu. Well, you would have heard these mnemonics in Kathak or Bharatanatyam or in even the beats of the tabla, beats of mridangam. Any percussion instrument uses these Sollu, which are the basic mnemonic syllables which are used to understand how a rhythm flowers. A rhythm is brought into a structure, into a phrase. So a dancer uses the same Sollu to articulate the adavus that she or he is performing. So how do you articulate? It has these basic syllables ta, te, tam, dhi, te, tam, takkudu, dhikkudu tam, dhikkudu tarikita tam. So any ways in which short syllables ta, dhi, tom, nam, these are joined together, strung together. So these are the Sollus, are the ones which, the basic Sollus are the ones which are again strung together into a phrase, and then they are joined to a tirmanam or the repetitions, and then they form something called the korvai. So that is what a student learns in an advanced stage. So we prepare them accordingly to understand the basic elements of the Sollu or the Sollu, and then how to render the talam. So what is a talam? As I said earlier, it is a rhythmical cycle which consists of different components called the performance as the kriya or the way in which one renders the parts of a tala, the anga. Angas are the parts of a tala. Kriya is the way in which the angas are illustrated. So when you illustrate it on paper, it is laghu, dhrutam, dhrutam. Laghu, dhrutam, dhrut and anudhrutam are three parts of a, or called the angas of a tala. Any talam in Carnatic music, we are talking mainly about Carnatic music because we are dealing with Bharatanatyam, which uses Carnatic music to a major extent. So we have here, as I said, laghu, dhrutam and anudhrutam. Laghu, when visual representation of it on paper, when you write it down, it's a chord, an I or an L. It's just a line. So that is what is visually represents laghu. Dhrutam is a 0. Anudhrutam is represented as U. So all in capitals. So you have laghu, dhrutam and anudhrutam. These are the angas of a tala. So you have laghu, a line, dhrutam, a 0, anudhrutam, a U. So this being what we notate it as in paper, how do we visually illustrate it? How do you render it as angas of a tala? Laghu is something which consists of a beat followed by the count of fingers. It's a beat, tap. It's like a clap. Takka. That's a laghu followed by beat of fingers. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3. It's how you count the fingers, tapping on the palm of the other hand. So when you tap both the palms together, it's a beat followed by counting of fingers. The counts of the fingers again may differ. It may be Tishram, 1, 2, 3, Chaturashram, 1, 2, 3, 4, Khandam, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Mishram, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes it a 7, which is Mishram. We'll deal with this in later on in much more detail. And the next beat is Sankirnam, which is 9 beats consisting of 4 and 5. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have this Tishram, Chaturashram, Tishram 3, Chaturashram 4, Khandam 5, Mishram 7 and 9. So making a total of 5 variation. Tishram, Chaturashram, Khandam, Mishram and Sankirnam. So that 5 is something that is a very important thread that runs through in Tala, and not only in musical aspect but also in the performance of the certain adavus in Bharatanatyam. It is called Panchanadai, Chaturashram, Khandam, Mishram, Sankirnam. It is called Panchanadai. We'll deal with the Sollu of the Panchanadai also. But let us finish this aspect of Tala and Laghu first. Here I said Tishram, Chaturashram and the other varieties. How does it manifested in the Laghu? How is it manifested in the Laghu? The number of counts that I said. A beat is always a beat. There is no variation to it. The variation comes in only in the number of counts that we count with the fingers. So that means if it is Tishram, it is 1, 2, 3, ta, ki, ta. It is Chaturashram, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, ta, ka, dhi, mi. Khandam is 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta. And Mishram, it is takkita takka dhimi. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Takkita takka dhimi. And then the end of it, which is Sankirnam. It is takka dhimi, takka takkita. There is this panchanade which is going on, but in Laghu, all these chollus are not there. You render it in by means of counts in the fingers. So if it is Tishra Jati, any talam, which is, for example, there are different kinds of talams. Again, if you talk about the types of tala, there are 7 different varieties of tala, main varieties of tala: Dhruva, Matya, Rupaka, Jampa, Triputa, Atta, Eka. These are the Sapta talas. Now what we were dealing with is Angas of a tala and the Kriya of the tala. So when we talk about these types of tala, how do they differ? What are the variations? How are the variations created to understand, to let us know what is what tala? What is it that makes Dhruva different from tala or Triputa tala or Atta tala or Eka tala? It is how the Angas are positioned and also the Jatis or the counts of the fingers are positioned. So when you talk about Triputa tala, it is always understood there are certain Jatis which are always associated with certain talas. Like, for example, you have Triputa tala, it is always understood to be, when you say Triputa tala, it is Tishra Jati Triputa talam. So Triputa talam has its Angas of this variety. It is Laghu followed by 2 Dhrutam. Laghu followed by 2 Dhrutam. So this Laghu is always something which we refer to when you say Tishra Jati. Tishra Jati refers to the Laghu. Tishra Jati means, what is Jati? Is a variety, right? So it's a Jati. What kind of quality is it? Tishram, Takkita, or 1, 2, 3. So the count of fingers goes 1, 2, 3. So in Tishra Jati, the Triputa talam, we have 1 Laghu followed by 2 Dhrutam. So 1 Laghu has 3 counts followed by 1 Dhrutam and another Dhrutam. So when we are talking about just Laghu, see here, Laghu has 3 counts. So that means 1, 2, 3. Now 1 tap followed by 1 beat of the finger and 1 count of the finger followed by another count. 1, 2, 3. A total of 3. So that makes the Laghu of Triputa talam. Likewise, when we talk about Jampa talam, it has Laghu, Anudhrutam followed by a Dhrutam. That is a structure of a Jampa talam. So when we talk about Jampa talam or even Atta talam, there are certain Jatis associated with them. So this is how there are the structure of the Angas positioned and the Jatis make the types of the tala different from each other. But then the Laghu can also be Chaturashra Jati in the Triputa talam, which I explained just now. So when you say Chaturashra Jati Triputa talam, that means 1 beat followed by count of fingers is total. The Laghu's count is 4. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 beat followed by 3 counting of fingers and followed by 1 Dhrutam and another Dhrutam. So that here you have 4 and followed by the Dhrutam and Dhrutam. So that means Chaturashra Jati Triputa talam is also there. But then it has a very common name which we use very commonly in the music, in the Carnatic songs and in everyday song also. If you count the number of aksharas, then and the jati, we see that most of them are in Adi talam. Adi talam is a very common talam. Likewise, Rupaka talam or Mishra Chapu. These are the commonly found talas. So we have, when I said Tishra Jati is generally associated with the Triputa talam, a Chaturashra Jati in Triputa talam is called Adi talam. But this is an exception. It is not the same for every other tala. It may be Khanda Jati, Atta talam, or Mishra Jati, Jampa talam. Mishram is associated, if it is associated generally by Mishra. I'm not going into detail of all this, but then for your general understanding, I have given an example of Triputa talam. Now let us go ahead with understanding the other parts of the tala, which are the Dhrutam and Anudhrutam. I hope this aspect of Laghu is clear for you. We'll go on to this part called Dhrutam and Anudhrutam. So Dhrutam, as I said, is also a part of the Triputa talam, which we saw as an example. Here Dhrutam is represented by 0, a capital O. Fine. So Dhrutam has 2 counts, a beat and a wave of hand. A beat, a clap, a beat and a wave of hand. So that means 2. 1, 2. right? It's a 1, 2. So that is dhrutam. Anudhrutam. Anudhrutam is a smaller portion of dhrutam, which is just a beat. So that is represented by a capital U. Capital U is anudhrutam. So we have the visual details notation here. A laghu, dhrutam and anudhrutam. I'm again repeating it. It's a line, it's a stroke followed by a capital O, capital U. So these are the notations of laghu, dhrutam and anudhrutam. So I have also told you how to render it, how we illustrate it. Laghu is a beat followed by count of fingers. Dhrutam is a beat and a wave. And anudhrutam is just a beat. So anudhrutam can be found in the present day Jampa Talam. It's the only Talam which has anudhrutam. Not anywhere else can we find. Probably in the earlier days many Deshi Talas had and were in use. But as of now we have anudhrutam only in Jampa Talam. So we have covered this anga, the kriya of Talam.
You were listening to the program titled Sollu and Tala Part 1. The expert for the program was Dr. P. Radhika, faculty from School of Performing and Visual Arts, IGNOU. The program was technically supported by P.R. Semil, edited by Tarannum Jahan and produced by Reena Boro. This program was brought to you by the Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.